This is AK, so my buddy Let's Get Stringy made a knot video. I'll make a knot video too. So this is my knot video. What I like to do is when I'm about to finish, usually you'll have your mains or your crosses are going to go alternating up or down. So I'll usually start on the racket is the shaft, the handle is on the far end. I'm going to start on my left side, my crosses, and they're going to go up. And they're going to come out on the bottom of my right side. So if I tension here, and then my knot is set at 20%, so I'm pulling about 10 pounds. What I'll also do is I'll count from here. If I'm odd, then if I'm from here, I usually go underneath the main. And if it's odd, then I'll come on top of the main. And then on the other side, I'll usually come on top of the main. I'm sorry, this one's underneath. My cross will go underneath the main, and then my cross will go above the main. So if I'm odd, then this cross will go underneath the main, then this cross will go over the main. And from here, so this guy is going to go up, this guy's going to come down because this is going to be odd from the last open cross here down to the cross inside of the main. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 17, this one's going to go, the main is going to be up, and then the main is going to be down on this side. If it's even, then it's the same. This one is up, main is up, the main is up on this side. So since this one is, the main is up here, the main is down here. This one is odd, so the main is down, so the main is going to go up. So what I want to do is I'll tie in here. Maybe the best thing to do is cut it at an angle so it's a little bit easier to put in. So I want to make sure that my main is going to come up. So I'll angle. This string to come up. My parallel pliers. I like these because they'll grab, and if I happen to drop them, oops. Actually, these I guess aren't that strong. Well, my other ones, they would grab and they would kind of lock, but these ones don't do that. So with my parallel pliers, I'll pull inside, so I make sure that I get the slack out over here. This is a modified Wilson Pro knot. Since I'm starting, my main is going to go up. I'm going to start from up, go down through the loop. I'm going to make a loop on the bottom, and then through the loop on the bottom. So then I'll pull up and then down. That's my modified Wilson Pro knot. And then for the opposite side, it's basically going to go the other way. So I want to angle down. So my main is going to be down. since this one's going up, do a reverse. Start from the bottom, go up, down, and then through the loop. Then I'll pull down and up, and that's my modified Wilson Pro nut. When I start my crosses, I'll start on the last kind of open hole right before on the last cross, and I'll start up. So when I finish, I'm coming under. And then since this main is under, when my cross comes out, it's going to go over the main. And then when I start my cross, it's going to go under. So on top of the main, going underneath the main, so my cross over here is going to finish over. So if I went straight over the main, then it's going to cross like this. But if I go over the main and then under the outside main, like this one is doing, so the main on the outside is on top, and then my cross is going underneath the main. But I'm finishing over on this cross, so the cross is going over the main and then under the outside main, so it has a bit of friction. So I like to pull my first cross, use a starting clamp on the outside. I'll maybe pull 4 crosses, 4 or 5, I forget. But then I'll come back and then I could remove my starting clamp. when I do my crosses, I like to straighten them out a little bit. And then go back just to make sure that the last two before are straight. Every time I try to straighten out my first cross, it's still a little rainbowed. So this cross, try to straighten it out, but it's still a little rainbowed. So going back, then I'll just kind of unrainbow out that previous cross. Just because the amount of pressure that I put on it, it's still not gonna unrainbow. So about here, or maybe here, I might have liked to come back. I'll come back to my starting clamp, the tension, because this one is locked here. I can use this clamp to clamp up here. And if possible, I always like to try and tie on my cross. So this one, the main is on top, the cross is coming out on the bottom. So I want to start my knot on the bottom. I'll pull a little bit so I make sure that I get rid of the slack on the outside. So starting my knot on the bottom, I'll come up through the loop and then back up through the loop. Then I can pull on the bottom, pull it up, and that's the modified Wilson Pro knot. So if you notice, my mains, one tail's going up, one tail's going down. My crosses, usually the same thing happens, I hope. So this tail on the top is going up. And if I did everything right, then my tail on the cross on the bottom should be going down. Not sure if you noticed my pretty nails, but they're very useful to retrieve string. So now here are my mains. So this one is, the main is over. So I want to put my cross underneath. And then my cross, when I start, is going to go over. So it's underneath the outside main, going over on the first cross on the main. Kind of basically like a hard weave, because there's some kind of friction right here. It's going under, then over. If it was just going over and over, then that's like a soft weave. So my last cross is going to go under. So I'm going to want this main on the outside to be under. The main cross is going under. So I have a bit of a hard weave. And then my cross is over, and then this one is over. So when I tension, it's going to be flat. So it's over the main on the outside, going to go under the cross. This cross is on top, so this one should go underneath the main on the outside. So I want the tip to be kind of at the bottom. So it's going to force the cross to go underneath the main on the outside, and my cross is over. So this one's going under, so I want to put this one under. So when I start my knot, the loop is going to be on the bottom, through the loop on the top. Guess maybe if it was even, then my tails would be going one up and one down. But because it's odd, they're both up. But this tail's up, this tail's down, this tail's up, this tail's down. That usually happens. That's my Wilson modified pro knot that I learned. Thanks. Let's get stringing. Bye.